All right, it was a fun weekend for our team, to get a chance to play in an outdoor game like that, and I give our guys a ton of credit. It's hard to win on the road, especially in our conference. A lot of really good teams, and our focus throughout last week was just staying focused on our first game on Friday at Pagula, and I thought we started really well there. They're a good team and pushed and found a way to win the game, and then then to go out and play in front of 75,000 people. It was awesome back and forth game. I thought for our guys to respond the way they did in that type of stage and that type of atmosphere, and to find a way to get the job done. It was back and forth, and it's a big time goal by Bazzi late to tie it up, and then Charlie's been awesome for us, and for him to have the poise on that stage to finish, I think that speaks to how his game's grown, and so now we're looking forward to playing Michigan. They're obviously a heck of a team, and are having a heck of a season, and it'll be a really good test for our team.
Are the outdoor games still a special memory for you, or is it old hat to you?
Oh, it's special. Yeah, it's special. I think I haven't been in that many as a coach, so I think just for our guys, just to experience that. That crowd, even getting to the stadium, right? You gotta get a police escort, and you got some fans letting you know you're not welcome in town, and they're lined up on the sidewalks. So I just think for our guys, you're trying to pull this bus up and try to figure out a way to win a hockey game, and you got a lot of people that are rooting against you. And I thought it was awesome. I thought Penn State did a great job. It's a lot of work to put it on, and thankful they asked us to be a part of it.
Last weekend was for college hockey. How big is this weekend for the sport too, with 1-2, especially Saturday games?
Yeah, I think that that LCA game is always the most attended indoor game in college hockey every year, right? I think it speaks to the rivalry, right? And both programs are in good spots, and that's when it's at its best, And I think regardless of where they're ranked, there always ends up being good games, and I suspect no different. It'll be tight games, and if we want to have success, we got to be at our best, and likewise for them. And but that's what being part of a rivalry, I think, is. Well, not everyone has that, right? And it forces you to be at your best, and that's when you have an opportunity to grow.
You mentioned the poison Charlie had. I think the poison Patrick too to win that battle on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I know his freshman year, that overtime goal in the Big Ten championship game, he tends to deliver in those moments. And I wonder if that's something that you had seen in him before, or he's cultivated that over the years. Where does that come from?
Well, I think he's what I like about Gears is he's comfortable in his own skin, right? The moment doesn't eat him up, and he doesn't try to be someone he's not. And I think that's, if you're going to be able to execute in critical moments, you can't be a phony. You know what I mean? And what you see is what you get with Gears. Love having him. He's been awesome since he's got here. He came in his first month, was healthy scratch, and worked his way into the lineup, and he's had an impact on our program in some big time moments, right? And so, yeah, I thought he was in a great spot there to win a puck battle. Danny Russell did a great job competing at the puck. I think it would have been easy for Danny to, lay on the ice and try to sell a call. He was competing there in second, third effort, and same with Gears, and slid it to Strams, and he was able to finish.
How does a guy as big as him get as open as he was? He had a mile and a half.
Well, I think it's 3-on-3. Obviously, there's more ice, and so I think anytime there's those 50-50 pucks, right, that's the both teams are trying to anticipate who's going to come up with that puck, right? And so he put himself in a really good spot, and I think he was in a good spot too. Had we, especially the way he skates, had we not won it, he was in a position to help us, try to recover and catch a guy. So I think that's a little bit 3-on-3, right? Is you got to read the moment of. It's a 50-50, and whoever can kind of anticipate that, who's going to get possession first, can usually attack.
I know they're all important. How much do you stress the little things in a series like this, like playing 5-on-5 as much as you can, and not making the mistakes that can cost you a game in a series like this?
Well, I think we try to do that since day one, right? I think if you think you're just going to turn it on for the series and all of a sudden we're going to play detailed, I don't think that's fair to the guys, right? So you try to. Every practice from the first practice, right? We want to try, and we're not perfect, and we got to keep helping our guys with it. But I think that's the mindset, right? Is every day when we practice, we got to practice with great detail, and then when we get to the weekend, we got to play with great detail. And when we don't, it's our job as coaches to let the guys know, hey, this isn't good enough. Or when we do it, to show it to them, say, hey, this is exactly how we want to play it. And so I think that's our mindset, right? Is we don't want to be in a situation where all of a sudden it's quote unquote a big series, or it's playoffs and we're going to start playing this way. It's like, no, we're working towards it every day. Yeah, no, they're good. They're good team, right? They got depth, and I feel like every time we played them since I've been here, I feel like their goalies have played good, and so I suspect that we're going to see good goaltending this weekend, right? And so if you wanna score, and it doesn't matter who you're playing, right? You gotta try to fight to get to the inside, and I think they've done a good job of making it hard to get to that area, and so you got to make that decision that you're gonna get to that area, but. I mean, I think just like every team in our conference, like as the year gets on, the league gets better and everyone improves, and they're no different.
Coach, how much does it mean for this program to have the opportunity to play on this big stage again? Obviously, you had Panhandle in December, and you had Beaver Stadium last weekend, and now you get LCA coming up.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're fortunate, right? And that's what you want to try to provide opportunities to guys, right? And so, you go to the GLI, we have so many alums on that side of the state that can't come to our games because there's no tickets, right? So they get to bring their family and watch and support our team, and to go and play at Beaver Stadium and 75,000 people, and just that experience of it, it didn't always go our way in that game, and how do you respond to it, and sticking together, and outside of our guys' parents and the staff, no one else wanted us to have any success in that building, right? So you had to dig in and stick together, and then LCA, I think it's just such I mean, for the Illich family to, I know they really value college athletics, right? And the impact it has on the youth players dreaming about playing college. You look at they've invested in college hockey for a long time, and I think for them to open up their building and for our schools to come in there and play is awesome. And you're not going to get a better environment in college hockey than this one. I mean, it's two passionate schools that don't like each other, and it'll be slammed, it'll be packed, and but I think it's great. It's one of the many reasons you come to Michigan State, an opportunity to play in these games.
After a weekend that had so much scoring, what can you say about your defensemen and their performance, because they're doing things that don't necessarily end up on the stat sheet?
Yeah, I mean, we like our back end, right? They've grown, and we got some length back there. We got some big guys, and I think that helped. We got some really good sticks, and really Bazzy's been a rock back there since he got here, and him and Ralphie have played really well together. Gears and Max have been partners for going on 3 years here, so there's a lot of chemistry there, and I think they've grown and they continue to improve. And getting Leahy back, I give him credit, right? As at that position to hop in halfway through a college season as a freshman is not easy, right? But you can see him. Barney's come along, and Westy's been great for us, So yeah, I think they do a lot of really good stuff, and I think they understand their responsibility and their role, and making sure they're hard to play against. And when they're at their best, we're at our best.
Rick Conley's here today. Forgive me, I lose track of years. Did he recruit you and Jared?
Yeah. Yep.
How appreciative are you of him?
Oh man, yeah, I love Coach Conley. He just came down to the coach's room. We caught up and we talk on the phone, and even back to when I transferred, right? He brought Jared and I. Jared was supposed to go to Lake State as well, right? And so he didn't have to do that. And I still remember just that year sitting out and making me feel part of the team, and so that whole side of it, right? And I wouldn't be standing here, if I didn't have that opportunity. And then I. When I got into coaching, and I think after my second year, my first tour duty at Shattuck, my second year there, we were kind of looking around, and coach called me about coming here and doing the hockey ops and video, and same thing. I wouldn't be standing here if he didn't bring me back, right, and gave me an opportunity. I hardly knew how to turn on a computer, and I was the video guy, so I had to learn quite a bit, But I think he trusted that I could figure that side of it out, and. But yeah, he's an awesome mentor. I can call him at any point, and love having him back in the rink.
Can I ask you how important this afternoon is? I hate to use the word closure because you're never going to forget Dan. How important is it for your Spartan hockey family to do this today?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be, obviously it's I don't know what the right word is for it, but the fact that, the school has really been awesome supporting Becky and the boys and Dan's family, and to open up MUN, for a celebration of life here. And I think we'll have a lot of people back, a lot of his teammates that can be together, and just try to honor him, and I think that's what we got to do right now, and support Becky and the boys. And, she's doing well, and she's texting, sending pictures and different things and some good memories. And, but yeah, I think that goes back to, I think everyone talks about Michigan State being a family, and I think you're really seeing that when something like this happens, right? It's just, again, the school offering up money for the family and supporting them any way they can.
It's nice to see how much people talk about celebration, like just embrace sort of honoring him and his legacy. He's never in a position where he's so public facing and has all those sport relationships, and yet everyone seemingly has such a nice story to say and support for his family.
Yeah.
It really feels like people would embrace it.
For sure, no, and I think that's what everyone loved about Dan was just he was genuine, right? And he wasn't a climber or a status guy. He took pride in doing his job and doing a great job at that. And it's funny how it works when you do things that way. That's when you earn people's respect. When you chase things or self-promote yourself, I think you might get ahead a little bit, but I think the respect factor from people maybe is not the same. And I think with Dan, it was always about the team. He loved Michigan State. He loved Michigan State hockey. He loved his family and loved his friends. He was a great friend. And I think that you're seeing that now, right? As people, even though he wasn't in the spotlight, like how much respect people have for him.